I think sometimes in a movie franchises, it's just people should just leave well enough alone. And the movie I'm talking about is Hellboy, not the Hellboy that we know and we love and won our hearts with Ron Perlman and Guillermo del Toro, director Guillermo del Toro. No, I'm talking about this atrocity. I'm talking about Hellboy, directed by Neil Marshall, who also did such movies as Dog Soldiers, a thought to be a cult classic. It's a comedy film, a horror film, or so. So you see the guy's resume. The guy knows he's an editor. This guy absolutely doesn't seem to have any knowledge on how to make a movie work because Hellboy, and from the opening scene of this movie, when the guy says, when Ian McShane says you effing know this, he starts cussing because this movie is rated R because the Hellboy original Hellboy movies were rated PG-13, but they made the PG-13 work. And this movie, it did not help because this movie it's just an excuse to make extremely gory and violent scenes of death and destruction and people getting filleted like at a Long John Silver. So Hellboy is I'm not even sure what the hell this movie is about exactly because you don't really know what's going on at half the time. So he's basically Hellboy has to get from point A to point B to stop the Blood Queen played by Mila Jovovich, and I am a fan of Mila Jovovich's work, even though a lot of her movies are not popular, the Resident Evil movies. But I have been a I at a time I had been a fan of hers, but I don't know exactly what happened or why this movie what happened to this movie because this movie with David Harbour as Hellboy, who also did Stranger Things, it should have been a good movie. It should have been maybe the sleeper hit of the summer, but as it is, and I don't even blame it on another casualty of Avengers Endgame. I blame it just because this movie is a bad movie. It is all over the place. There is no redeeming value about this movie. There is no scene that I can remember remotely that people will look back 25 years later or something and say, "Oh yeah, Hellboy. Oh, I remember that scene where Hellboy's fighting those three giants." No, there is absolutely no scene in here. There is not a single frame in this film that I really actually like. There is not a performance on even David Harbour's performance felt like it was forced. I really just didn't think that people were on board for this movie. I just basically think the director and the writing as well as the actors took a nice little. They were asleep at the wheel. They were asleep the whole film because you could just tell the movie suffers from that. The writing is substandard. Even the special effects for oh God Almighty, the special effects. I don't even want to get into that. The 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 special effects were ass. So how far can you get with this movie? How far can you get with this franchise besides just destroying it? Guillermo del Toro, he made it work. Ron Perlman is online said he wishes these people good luck with this movie, and he had been trying to have a sequel made of his original of a to have the final trilogy, final third film of the original Hellboy from the Dark Horse comics, by the way, and it did not get greenlit for some reason. So he just gave him his had nothing but good things to say. But I don't have a whole lot of. I mean, when Ian McShane, who did came off the heels of an amazing franchise like John Wick, is awful in a movie. I mean, what the Mila Jovovich? I mean, I think she really tried her best with what she got, what she had. what they gave her, but the script is just it is it's like trying to find go use your GPS to try to find a place where you're going, and the GPS just takes you on a wild goose chase, because this movie is kind of like is like a car wreck, because there is nothing I can't remember, just from the opening scenes where he's in Mexico, and you see this wrestler, luchador, become this evil looking creature, and it just looks ridiculous. The special effects are just garbage. The special effects are ass. So I'm gonna give this movie this rating, because if I didn't do it, it means I'm just being too nice with this movie. I'm being way too nice. I'm being actually being nice right now. I am going to give this movie the garbage rating, because this movie is absolute garbage, because they had there's some good actors on here, but the script, what script? I'm going to give this movie the garbage rating, because it is absolute garbage. There is nothing I I don't know even know what else to say about this movie. I came with this in this movie not expecting a whole lot, and I didn't get a whole lot. I mean, it is just like going on a date, on a blind date, and you find out you're going out with somebody really ugly that you're totally unattracted to. You're not attracted to this person, and you're just completely horrified when you see them the first time. That's what Hellboy 2019 made me feel like. This I am absolutely horrified, and not in a good way, about this movie. All right, you guys. Okay. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and let me know what you think about. What would you like to see? Do you want to see Ron Perlman come back as Hellboy? I think it's pretty affirmative on that, right? And let me know what you think about this blog, like what I've been doing lately. And I am the YouTube alternative. I am still your reviewer, and I will see you guys real soon in 2 and 2.